My hands were shaking so bad I could barely hold the phone steady, but I kept recording through the windshield of my Silverado anyway. There she was, my Lisa of 31 years, pressed up against the driver's door of Chad's black F-150 in the far corner of the Home Depot parking lot, his tongue halfway down her throat while his hand disappeared under her sundress. The same sundress I bought her last Mother's Day. The same parking lot where we used to bring the kids for the free Saturday workshops when they were little. I felt my heart seize up like a blown gasket, a hot, ripping pain that shot clear down my left arm. 31 years of mortgage payments, overtime shifts, college tuition, and every single dream I ever shelved so she could have the life she wanted. And this is what it came down to, watching my wife make out with my own brother like some cheap teenager. I thought I was going to throw up right there on the steering wheel. But I didn't stop recording, because I knew right then and there that this video was going to be the match that finally burned everything to the ground. I never thought I'd be the guy sitting here watching my whole life burn down on a screen. Let me take you back to when it all started. Lisa and I met at the prettiest girl in Mr. Hendrick's third period chemistry class at Jefferson High. I was the greasy kid from the auto shop wing who somehow got stuck in college prep because my guidance counselor said I tested too high for VO Tech. She wore her honey blonde hair in a high ponytail and smelled like Love's Baby Soft. I still remember the first time she smiled at me. October 1989, when I offered her half my Twinkie because she forgot lunch money. By Christmas we were steady. I gave her my Letterman jacket even though I only lettered in wrestling 1 year. She wore it like it was mink. We got married the summer after graduation, June 15, 1991, in the same little Methodist church her parents got married in. I was 20, she was 19. I wore a rented tux that smelled like mothballs. She wore a dress her mom sewed from a butterick pattern, and we promised each other forever in front of 73 people and God himself. If I'd known then what I know now, I would have paid a lot more attention to the way her daddy warned me that Lisa always wanted more than this town could give her. The first 10 years were golden. I worked swing-shifted at the Ford plant in Claycomo. She worked days at the credit union. We bought the little 3-bedroom ranch on Northeast 68th Terrace for $112,000 in 1995. Put 5% down and took a 30-year note at 7.85%. We painted the kitchen sunflower yellow because that was her favorite color back then. Megan came in 96, Tyler in 98, and little Grace in 2002. I picked up every overtime hour they'd give me so Lisa could stay home once Grace started walking. We weren't rich, but we had a paid-off minivan, a grill-outs every Sunday after church, and vacations to Branson or the Lake of the Ozarks every summer. Lisa coached Megan's softball team. I was Tyler's Cub Scout leader. Friday nights we'd put the kids to bed and slow dance in the living room to George Strait. Life felt solid, safe, like we'd already won. Around 2010 the plant started cutting shifts. I got bumped to second shift permanent. Lisa went back to work part-time at the credit union, then full-time when Grace hit middle school. She moved up to branch manager by 2015, started wearing heels and blazers instead of jeans and keds. She looked good, real good. Took up yoga, got highlights, dropped the 20 pounds she'd carried since Grace. I told her every day how beautiful she was. She'd laugh and say I was biased. I was proud as hell too. My wife was turning heads at 45, and still wearing the thin gold band I bought her with 3 months' savings. If I'd known then what I know now, I'd have noticed how she stopped saying we when she talked about the future and started saying I. The tiny cracks started showing up around 2018. Nothing big, just little things. She got a new phone and set a passcode I didn't know. Started closing her laptop when I walked in the room. Said it was work stuff, confidential. I believed her. She took a girls' trip to Nashville with 3 friends from the credit union. Came back with new lingerie I never got to enjoy exactly once before it disappeared into the back of her drawer. When I asked about it, she said it didn't fit right. I let it go. Men over 50, we've given too many years to let little stuff turn into big stuff, right? So we swallow it. Then came the doubt. Late 2021, she started staying late for month-end numbers. Sometimes she wouldn't get home until 9, 10 o'clock. Said the new regional manager was a real stickler. I'd heat up leftovers, kiss her hello, ask how her day was. She'd smell like a different perfume. something spicy and expensive instead of the white shoulders she'd worn since high school. I told myself it was just a promotion perk, samples from the mall. But I started waking up at 3 a.m. staring at the ceiling, heart racing, wondering if I was going crazy. Tell me in the comments, when would you have snapped? Because I didn't. Not yet. The obsession hit hard in spring of 2023. I found myself checking her mileage when she pulled in the driveway. Once it was 43 miles higher than it should have been for a round trip to the branch and back. She said she drove to the Liberty to help her mom. Her mom lives in Blue Springs, opposite direction. I asked why. She got mad, said I was being paranoid, that she stopped at the big Walmart up there because they had the curtains she wanted for the guest room. I found the receipt later, $28.74 at the Blue Springs store. Timestamp 4:17 p.m. the same day. I didn't say anything, just folded the receipt and put it in my top drawer next to my socks. Suspicion turned into something darker. I started parking down the block when I got off early, watching the house. Nothing. I'd come home at the usual time, kiss me on the cheek, ask what was for dinner like everything was fine. I installed a GPS app on her phone while she was in the shower. Felt like the dirtiest thing I'd ever done. Told myself it was just to ease my mind. First week it showed her car sat at the branch all day. Second week it showed a 20-minute stop at the Marriott by the airport on a Tuesday. She told me she was at work. I drove there, circled the lot like some stalker, didn't see her car. The app must be wrong, I told myself. Glitch. If I'd known then what I know now, I'd have realized the app was right and my wife was already gone. Then came the first almost caught moment. June 2023, our 29th anniversary. I got off early, stopped at the florist, bought 24 red roses, our tradition. Pulled in the driveway at 4:10. Her car wasn't there. GPS showed it parked behind the VFW hall 3 miles away. I drove over, heart hammering. Saw her white Explorer backed into the far corner. Windows fogged. I got within 50 yards and the driver door flew open. Out stumbles Chad. My own brother. Tucking in his shirt, Lisa right behind him fixing her hair. They didn't see me. I slammed the truck in reverse and peeled out before they could. Drove around for 2 hours shaking so bad I had to pull over twice. When I got home she was in the kitchen making lasagna like nothing happened. Kissed me happy anniversary. Thanked me for the roses. I smiled. Ate 2 helpings. Slept on the couch that night because I was scared I'd strangle her in my sleep. I convinced myself I was wrong. Bad angle. Maybe they were planning a surprise party for my 50th. Chad's my older brother by 4 years. Been my best friend since we were kids. He lost his wife to cancer in 2019. Lisa was just comforting him. That's all. I wanted so bad to believe that. The second almost caught was October 2023. Tyler's wedding rehearsal dinner. Chad was best man. Lisa maid of honor for Tyler's fiancé. I stepped outside the restaurant to take a work call. Looked across the parking lot and there they were again. Ducked down in his truck, her head in his lap. I walked straight over, phone still at my ear pretending to talk. Got 10 feet away and she popped up, lipstick smeared, eyes wide. Chad floored it, tires squealing. Lisa ran inside, said she felt sick, spent the rest of the night in the bathroom. I held her hair while she pretended to throw up. Never said a word. Christmas 2023 I got the ironclad proof. Lisa was in the shower, phone buzzing on the dresser. I'd never touched it before. Swore I wouldn't become that guy. But it buzzed again. I picked it up. Passcode was still our anniversary, 0615. Hundreds of texts to C. Redheart going back 2 years. Pictures. Videos. Hotel receipts. One from that morning. Can't wait to ride you again tonight while he's snoring. I sat down on the bed and everything went quiet except the water running. When she came out wrapped in a towel, she saw her phone in my hand and the color drained from her face. She didn't even try to lie. Just said, "I'm sorry. I never meant for you to find out." That was the moment the numbness set in. I didn't yell, didn't cry, just asked how long. She said since the pandemic when I was working 70-hour weeks and Chad was grieving. Said it just happened. Said she loved me but wasn't in love with me anymore. Said Chad made her feel young again. I asked if she was leaving. She cried and said she didn't know. I told her to pack a bag and go to her mother's. She left that night. January 2024, the rage came. Not hot, screaming rage, cold, quiet, surgical. I hired the best divorce attorney in Kansas City. Started documenting everything. Moved half the money out of our joint accounts into a new ones she didn't know about. Perfectly legal if you do it right. Changed the beneficiary on my life insurance and 401k to the kids. Froze the equity line on the house. She was stunned how fast I moved. Thought I'd beg her to come home. I didn't, but it turned out the affair wasn't even the worst of it. That came in March when my attorney subpoenaed her bank records. Lisa and Chad had been siphoning money for 18 months. Not just date night cash, tens of thousands. They opened a secret account at a different credit union in both their names. Used it to pay for a condo in Daytona Beach, $385,000 cash. Bought in December 2023. Took money from Megan's college fund, Tyler's wedding gift account we'd been adding to, even Grace's braces savings. Drained my overtime Christmas bonus checks I direct deposited straight to the joint account. Over $187,000 gone. My brother and my wife robbed me blind while they were screwing behind my back. If I'd known then what I know now, I'd have realized the woman I loved died a long time ago and something else was just wearing her skin. I didn't sleep for a week. Then I sat in the dark living room with a bottle of Jack. Didn't even drink it, just stared at it. Thought about driving off a bridge. Thought about putting a bullet in both of them. Thought about the kids finding out their mom and Uncle Chad had stolen their future. That was the moment the rage turned ice cold. April 2024, I started planning. Quietly, methodically. I got a new phone with a number she didn't know. Created fake profiles. Waited. June 15, 2024. Our 33rd anniversary that never happened. I followed her. She'd moved into a corporate apartment the credit union paid for. Said it was temporary until we figured things out. I knew she was meeting Chad after his shift. He'd taken early retirement with his half of my money. I waited outside her complex in my buddy's borrowed Tacoma, so she wouldn't recognize the truck. When she pulled out in her Explorer, I stayed 3 cars back. She drove straight to that Home Depot on North Oak. Parked next to his black F-150. And that's when I started recording. I recorded for 12 straight minutes. Got everything. The kissing. The hands under clothes. Her climbing into his lap facing him. His wedding ring. My father's ring that he gave Chad after Mom passed. Glinting in the sun while he grabbed her. When they finally drove off separate ways, I sat there another 10 minutes making sure the video saved to the cloud 3 different places. That night, I uploaded it to a private YouTube link. Added screenshots of the bank statements, the condo deed, the secret account, the texts calling me fat, old, and boring. Titled it, My Wife of 31 Years and My Brother. Enjoy the condo you bought with my kid's future. Sent the link to every family member, every mutual friend, the entire church directory from our church, both their workplaces, and posted it publicly on Reddit in pro-revenge, True Off My Chest, and Betrayal Tells. Set my alarm for 5 a.m. to watch the fallout. By 6 a.m. my phone was exploding. Missed calls from Lisa, 87 of them. Texts from Chad calling me every name in the book. Megan called crying, asking if it was true. Tyler just sent a single text. I'm done with her. Grace, my baby girl away at Mizzou. FaceTime me sobbing so hard she couldn't breathe. The Reddit posts were at 40,000 upvotes by noon. Comments pouring in. This is the most savage revenge I've ever seen. Your poor kids. She's not their mother anymore. Hope you took every penny back, King. Lawyer up twice. Lisa showed up at the house at 8 a.m. pounding on the door. Mascara streaking. Begging me to take the video down. Saying I was ruining her life. I let her in, sat her at the kitchen table where we used to do homework with the kids, and played the video on the TV. She went ghost white. Asked how I could do this to her. I told her I'd spent 31 years doing everything for her. My turn. Chad tried the tough guy route. Showed up drunk at 10 a.m. threatening to kick my ass. I reminded him I still had the .38 Dad left me and the Ring camera was recording. He left real quick. By Monday, the credit union fired her for misuse of company resources. Turns out she'd been running their scam on work computers. Chad's consulting gigs dried up when every client saw the video. The condo got seized in the next month when my attorney proved fraud and undue influence. Bank returned every dime to the kids' accounts plus penalties. Judge awarded me the house, only asset left, 65% of what remained of the 401k, and full alimony for 3 years since she'd cleaned me out. She got to keep her Explorer and whatever clothes she could stuff in it. But the final twist, the one nobody, not even me, saw coming, was the life insurance policy. The one I'd had since Megan was born, $750,000 payable to Lisa on my death. Turns out in February 2024, while I was working doubles to rebuild what they stole, Lisa and Chad added a $250,000 accidental death rider and tried to change the beneficiary to the Daytona Condo LLC. Forged my signature. Insurance company caught it during routine audit 2 weeks before I posted the video. Sent me a letter asking for confirmation. That forgery charge is a felony. Felony. Lisa's court date is next month. Chad took a plea already, 18 months probation and full restitution. She's looking at real time. Last I heard, she's living in a studio in Independence, working nights at Quick Trip. Chad moved to Florida alone. The condo sold at sheriff's auction. The kids don't speak to either of them. I sold the ranch, too many memories. Bought a little lake house down at Truman with cash left from the settlement. Fish every morning. Sleep through the night for the first time in years. If I'd known then what I know now, I'd have followed her car a whole lot sooner. If the story hit you square in the chest like it did me while living it, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell. Because the next betrayal I tell might just save you from living it yourself.